Picture this, a shrinking Earth. But first, a big thank you to Taha for suggesting this fascinating topic. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine our Earth, this beautiful blue marble starting to shrink, like a balloon losing air. But it's rock, water, and everything we know. Buildings crumble, oceans converge, and the ground feels different. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if it held a grain of scientific truth? What if our planet did begin to shrink? The universe is full of mysteries. A shrinking Earth might seem like pure imagination, but it's a fascinating thought experiment. It helps us understand the delicate balance of our planet, a way to unveil the secrets of our existence. Don't worry, Earth shrinking isn't happening anytime soon. Our planet is remarkably stable, but let's suspend our disbelief and dive into the what-ifs. Let's explore the incredible implications of a shrinking Earth. Fasten your seatbelts, space cadets, because this thought experiment is going to take us on a wild ride through the laws of physics, the intricacies of our atmosphere, and the delicate balance of life itself. Get ready to have your mind stretched and your perspectives challenged, because we're about to embark on a journey that is both awe-inspiring and thought-provoking. Let's start our journey by understanding the cosmic dance between size and gravity. Everything in the universe, from the smallest grain of sand to the largest star, exerts a gravitational pull. It's the invisible force that holds the universe together, keeping planets in orbit and apples falling from trees. The strength of this pull depends on two things: mass and distance. The more massive an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. The closer you are to an object, the stronger its gravitational pull on you will be. Think of it like a game of cosmic tug-of-war. Our Earth, a giant ball of rock and water, has a lot of mass. This mass creates a gravitational field that holds us firmly on the ground and keeps our atmosphere from drifting off into space. It's the reason why we don't float away like astronauts on the moon. Now, if Earth were to start shrinking, its mass wouldn't magically disappear. The same amount of matter would just be packed into a smaller space. This is where things get interesting. Remember the rules of our cosmic tug-of-war? The closer you are to an object, the stronger its gravitational pull. If Earth were to shrink, its surface would be closer to its center, where most of its mass is concentrated. This means the gravitational force we experience on the surface would increase. It's like standing closer to the rope in our cosmic tug-of-war. Earth would have a stronger pull on us. Now you might be thinking, so what? A little extra gravity never hurt anyone, right? Well, in this case, that extra gravity would have some pretty mind-blowing consequences for everything on our planet, from the air we breathe to the very continents we live on. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's save those fascinating details for the next act of our cosmic adventure. We often take for granted the delicate balance that governs our planet. It's a cosmic dance of forces, with gravity playing a starring role. Imagine Earth as a spinning ballerina, her arms outstretched. This distance determines her moment of inertia. If she pulls her arms in, her spin accelerates. This is the same principle at play with a figure skater. Our shrinking Earth acts similarly. As the planet contracts, its mass becomes more concentrated. This causes Earth to spin faster, shortening our days. The change would be gradual but noticeable. Imagine waking up to find that sunrise is arriving earlier each day. It would certainly throw a wrench into our schedules. This increase in rotational speed would also affect our planet's weather patterns. The faster spin would cause the Coriolis effect to intensify. This effect causes hurricanes to spin in different directions. With a shrinking Earth, we could expect more extreme weather events. Think stronger hurricanes, more powerful tornadoes, and unpredictable jet streams. But the changes don't stop there. As Earth shrinks, the distance between its surface and its core decreases. This means the planet's internal pressure would increase. This pressure buildup could lead to more frequent and intense earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. The ground beneath our feet would become a hotbed of geological activity. The ground beneath our feet, once a symbol of stability, would become a hotbed of geological activity. Now, let's talk about density. Density is a measure of how much mass is packed into a given volume. Think of a bowling ball and a beach ball. They might be the same size, but the bowling ball is much denser because it's packed with more mass. As Earth shrinks, its density increases. The same amount of rock, water, and air is now crammed into a smaller space. This has some pretty weird consequences for everything on the surface. Imagine you're standing on this shrinking Earth. The ground beneath your feet would feel much harder, much more solid. This is because the atoms making up the ground are now packed closer together, increasing its density. Buildings and bridges designed for the gravitational pull and density of our current Earth would face immense stress. Foundations would crack and structures would crumble, unable to bear the weight of a denser planet. Even the oceans wouldn't escape the effects of Earth's shrinking act. As the planet contracts, the ocean basins would shrink as well, forcing the water levels to rise. Imagine coastal cities already threatened by rising sea levels, facing even higher tides and more frequent floods. And remember how we talked about Earth's increased density? Well, that affects water too. Denser water means ships and submarines would need to be redesigned to stay afloat. But here's where things get really interesting. If Earth were to shrink to half its current size, its density would increase eightfold. That's 8 times the amount of matter crammed into the same space. This dramatic increase in density would have mind-boggling implications for our planet's gravity, which, as you might have guessed, brings us to the next chapter of our shrinking Earth saga. When mountains crumble, the shifting face of our planet. As Earth shrinks, the most dramatic changes would be seen on its surface. The planet's crust, that thin, rocky shell we call home, would buckle and fold like a deflating balloon. Imagine the tallest mountains, the majestic Himalayas and the towering Alps crumpling under their own weight, their peaks sinking towards the planet's core. This shrinking wouldn't be uniform. Just like a drying apple, Earth's surface would become wrinkled and uneven. Vast new mountain ranges would rise, continents would collide, and the familiar shapes of our world would be redrawn in a dramatic geological makeover. The Grand Canyon, a testament to the power of erosion over millions of years, might pale in comparison to the colossal chasms and towering plateaus carved by a shrinking Earth. These dramatic geological events wouldn't be silent either. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions and tsunamis would become commonplace, reshaping the landscape with terrifying frequency. The ground beneath our feet, once a symbol of solidity, would become a constant reminder of the powerful forces at play within our planet. The very notion of solid ground would take on a whole new meaning. But perhaps the most significant change would be to our planet's gravity. As Earth shrinks and its density increases, its gravitational pull strengthens. This means that everything on the surface, from the tiniest insect to the largest animal, would feel heavier. And as we'll discover in the next act of our cosmic drama, this increase in gravity would have profound implications for life as we know it. Gravity gets real, feeling the weight of the world. Okay, space cadets, buckle up because we're about to dive into the heavy stuff, literally. As our imaginary Earth shrinks, its mass stays the same, but it's all packed into a smaller space. Remember that cosmic tug-of-war we talked about? Well, as Earth gets smaller, we get closer to the rope, and its gravitational pull on us increases. Imagine feeling a little heavier, like you're carrying an extra backpack everywhere you go. That's what stronger gravity would feel like. Now, you might think, so we'd all just hit the gym, build some extra muscle, no big deal, right? Well, not exactly. This isn't just about feeling a little heavier. Increased gravity would affect everything around us in surprising ways. Take trees, for example. Trees can only grow so tall before their own weight becomes too much for their trunks to support. With stronger gravity, forests might be filled with shorter, stouter trees, like Mother Nature's way of compensating for the extra downward pull. Even our own bodies wouldn't be immune to the effects of increased gravity. Our bones, muscles, and even our internal organs would experience additional stress. Over time, humans might evolve to be shorter and stockier, with denser bones to withstand the heavier load. Imagine future generations of humans looking back at our skeletal records in museums, marveling at how much taller and lighter we were. But the impact of increased gravity wouldn't stop at our bones and trees. It would affect everything from the flight of birds to the flow of rivers. Birds would need stronger wings to generate the lift needed to soar through the denser air. Rivers would carve deeper canyons and valleys as their water flows with greater force. It's a whole new world of physics where the familiar rules have been subtly but profoundly altered. The atmosphere under pressure, a shrinking sky. Now, let's take a deep breath and talk about our atmosphere. You might not think about it much, but the air we breathe is held in place by Earth's gravity. As Earth shrinks, its gravitational pull strengthens, squeezing the atmosphere like a giant hand compressing a balloon. This compression would make the atmosphere denser, especially at lower altitudes. Imagine stepping outside and feeling the air thicker, heavier, like walking into a sauna after a cold day. This denser air would have a profound impact on our weather patterns. Think about it. Denser air holds more moisture. This means we could expect more frequent and intense rainfall as the atmosphere reaches its saturation point more easily. Rainy days might become the norm, and umbrellas a permanent fashion accessory. But it's not just the rain we need to worry about. The denser atmosphere would also affect our planet's temperature. Remember how greenhouse gases trap heat? Well, a denser atmosphere would act like a thicker blanket, trapping even more heat from the sun. This could lead to a runaway greenhouse effect, causing global temperatures to rise dramatically. We're talking about scorching summers, melting ice caps, and rising sea levels, a recipe for climate chaos. And if that wasn't enough, the composition of the atmosphere itself could change. The air we breathe is primarily composed of nitrogen and oxygen, but with a shrinking, denser atmosphere, the balance could shift. Higher concentrations of oxygen might sound good at first, but too much oxygen can be toxic. It's a delicate balance, and a shrinking Earth could throw it off kilter. Section 3, life on a shrinking world, adaptation or extinction. So we've got heavier gravity, a denser atmosphere, and a climate in overdrive. Not exactly ideal conditions for life as we know it, right? But life is incredibly resilient. Over billions of years, life on Earth has weathered countless storms, from asteroid impacts to ice ages. Could life, with its remarkable ability to adapt, survive on a shrinking Earth? Well, it depends. Some species, especially those that are highly specialized to their environments, might struggle to adapt to such rapid and dramatic changes. Imagine giraffes with their long necks adapted for reaching high branches, struggling to support their own weight in a world with stronger gravity, or delicate butterflies, their wings no longer able to carry them aloft in the denser air. But other species might thrive in this new world. Organisms that are small, adaptable, and able to cope with extreme conditions might find themselves with a competitive advantage. Think of insects with their exoskeletons and incredible reproductive rates. Or extremophiles, those microscopic wonders that thrive in the most inhospitable environments on Earth, from boiling hot springs to the crushing depths of the ocean. And what about us humans? Could we, with our ingenuity and technological prowess, find a way to survive on a shrinking Earth? Or would we become another casualty in the planet's dramatic transformation? These are questions that take us beyond the realm of simple physics and into the realm of human resilience, innovation, and perhaps even our own evolution. Section 1. The incredible shrinking food chain, from giants to dwarfs. Picture this: the African savanna where elephants once roamed with colossal strides. Now imagine this landscape transformed, with elephants noticeably smaller and acacia trees stunted. Lions struggle to hunt, and gazelles are stockier. Even ants carry less. Their journeys slower. This shrinking effect ripples through the entire ecosystem. Section 2. Cities in the Sky, Reimagining Human Habitation. With increased gravity, we must rethink our approach to building and living. Skyscrapers might become liabilities, leading to underground cities or sky cities. Imagine cities suspended from airships with vertical farms and renewable energy. Transportation would involve personal flying vehicles and aerial trams. Challenges would arise, but human innovation would shape a new era of civilization among the clouds. A shrinking Earth would reshape our social, political, and economic systems. Competition for resources would intensify as land masses shrink. Nations would need unprecedented cooperation and diplomacy. Scarcity would drive innovation in vertical farming, renewable energy, and space exploration. Our understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe would deepen. It would be a time of great upheaval and opportunity. Imagine Earth shrinking as a slow, controlled process. This would bring the planet's deepest layers closer to the surface. Geologists could study the Earth's mantle and tectonic plates up close. Understanding the planet's geology could help locate new resources. We might discover new forms of geothermal energy. It would be a new golden age of geological discovery. The idea of Earth shrinking has roots in stellar evolution. Stars go through various stages, and some shrink as they age. White dwarfs, for example, are incredibly dense remnants of stars. Studying these objects can give insights into matter under extreme conditions. Understanding stellar evolution helps us appreciate our cosmic origins. It highlights the interconnectedness of the cosmos. Our journey through a shrinking Earth has stretched our minds and ignited our sense of wonder. Thought experiments remind us to ask, what if? Imaginative leaps push the boundaries of human understanding. Every breakthrough began as a spark of imagination. Embracing the what-ifs opens us to a universe of possibilities. Never stop exploring the endless possibilities within reality. As we conclude our journey, we're left in awe of the universe's workings. Gravity orchestrates the cosmic ballet, impacting everything. This thought experiment reminds us of the delicate balance sustaining life. We are active participants in this cosmic dance. This realization should fill us with a sense of responsibility. Earth is a fragile haven, and even slight imbalances have far-reaching consequences. Our shrinking Earth thought experiment holds a powerful message. We can control our impact on Earth's resources and ecosystems. Our actions have been shrinking Earth's capacity to support life. It's time to acknowledge our planet's finite resources. We need to embrace sustainable practices and protect biodiversity. This means fostering a global community committed to safeguarding our planet. Our exploration of a shrinking Earth has been a journey of discovery. The universe is full of wonders yet to be uncovered. Question the familiar, embrace the unknown, and never lose your sense of wonder. Share this thought experiment and spark conversations. Engage in respectful dialogue and be open to new perspectives. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop seeking answers to the big questions.